Agriculture is essential for the growth of a society or economy. Nigerian government under the leadership of Muhammadu Buhari recognize the importance of agriculture to the economy. Therefore, it has set up the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative Program (PFIP) to ensure availability of fertilizer to boost agricultural production, create wealth and employment, and ensure food security in the country. The basic objective of the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative is to procure the 4 basic constituent raw materials locally, such as urea, limestone granules, diammonium phosphate imported from Morocco, and muriate of potash sourced from Europe, and blend this locally to produce NPK fertilizer at a reduced cost. The finished product is to be sold to farmers at about 5,500 naira per bag, which is less than the price of fertilizer imported into the country. A visit to Superphosphate Fertilizer and Chemicals Kaduna and Fertilizer and Chemicals. The ongoing production shows that the government is actually making efforts to provide fertilizer for its farmers.
Of course, we are into the production of NPK. Our premium brand is NPK 2010.
During the past 4 years, production has been very low, with less than 100 trucks production per annum. But as at now, we have produced over 600 trucks in the last 3 months.
The production manager of Fertilizer and Chemicals Kaduna applauds the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative.
This current program, Presidential Initiative on Fertilizer, I think is about the best we've ever had in this country. And I'm very, very happy with this current government too. At least they look at the flaws of the previous programs, the previous GS, and they improve upon it. And what we're actually doing is like fertilizer getting to farmers at the price prescribed by what? Government. Farmers are not buying more than the price government said we should sell. And everybody is getting fertilizer, unlike previously that people were like manipulating. But we thank God, presently now people are getting fertilizer at the normal price. So looking at it, this is a laudable program by the federal government, and I pray they sustain it. And I believe this year, of course, the blessing. And thank God we have a listening government that are always thinking of how to improve the life of the people.
Those that are involved in the sale of fertilizer products also appreciate the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative Program.
Honestly, farmers are really agree with the present government policy on fertilizer. If you import other fertilizer alongside that of government, you find that the farmers are rushing to buy the government fertilizers.
Fiye da haka gaskiya manoma suna siyan shi sosai kuma gaskiya sun ji daɗin wannan tsari da shugaban ƙasa ya kawo sai dai mu mishi addu'a.
I pray that God will continue to protect our president and pray that the policy is successful.
Fiye da yadda muke tunani.
Personally, I appreciate the presidential initiative on fertilizer.
Takin akwai wani dan matsala kaɗan a ciki amma kuma daga baya su
even though some farmers are complaining about the fertilizer, but the issue has now been corrected by fertilizer producers.
Wanda mu yana damun mu gaskiya saboda gaskiya an ce wannan taki ga ka'idan farashin shi a jiki naira 5,500 haka dila zai sai da takin nan.
The issue of price that has been fixed at 5,500 is really causing some trouble because some other retailers are finding it difficult to make profit. They cannot buy directly from the companies in the minimum of 10 trucks. They lack the capital.
Hannu a cikin wannan abin domin ta gyara mana wannan tsarin saboda mu ma mu ji daɗin tafiyar da harkokin wayan da ya kamata saboda ba kowa bane yake da karfin wanda zai iya siyan takin nan mota 10.
Gaskiya wannan taki da Baba Buhari ya fito mana da shi da mu da manoma.
This fertilizer that is supplied to us through the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative. We sellers and farmers appreciate the policy. Farmers have been telling us that right from dry season farming, they have been getting good results from these fertilizers.
An muka biya shi da idan Allah muka biya yau muka dauka a cikin satin ba za ka same mu da shi ba. Yakan yi saurin karewa da yanzu ya fi kowane.
Immediately we supply the fertilizer and within a short time it will be completely purchased by farmers. We normally get supply within a short time after we make payments to the fertilizer company. The price is already at 5,500. The government have assisted farmers. In fact, the fertilizer is identified with the name of President Muhammadu Buhari when you go to the market.
The Presidential Fertilizer Initiative has been working towards resuscitating moribund fertilizer plants and reviving the local blending fertilizer industry to ensure availability of assorted fertilizer for Nigerian farmers at affordable price to enhance food security and as a result of the expected increase in food production, reduce inflation and stimulate economic activities and create job opportunity. Superphosphate Fertilizer and Chemicals located in Kaduna is the only company that manufactures single superphosphate fertilizer SSP in Nigeria. The company is also involved in the blending of other categories of fertilizer such as NPK and urea. Stephen Alu is the marketing manager of the company.
Superphosphate Fertilizer and Chemicals Kaduna happens to be the only blending plant, the only manufacturing plant that produces the single superphosphate fertilizer, and alongside we equally do the blending of NPK 20-10-10. And in this plant also we have a plant that produces alum. Recently, the government of Muhammadu Buhari came up with a presidential fertilizer initiative. This whole thing is geared towards making and subsidizing the prices of fertilizer in such a way that it will be available and easily accessible to farmers. And as so doing, government has crashed the price from the ungodly price that it is going in the market, within the range of 7,500 to above 10,000 naira to 5,500 naira to the farmers. And so far, farmers are appreciative of this initiative because now the fertilizer product that we produce alongside other blending and manufacturing plants in Nigeria are easily accessible and affordable to the farmers.
To engage in successful farming or large-scale agricultural production, there is a need to apply fertilizer based on the chemical components needed by the plants. Soil evaluation is, however, done to determine chemicals or nutrients required by the crop to grow. Fertilizer is definitely an essential nutrient that is used to improve plant yield.
For the NPK 20-10-10, it is the general fertilizer you will use when you are cultivating maize, guinea corn, millet. You use it when you do beans and the likes. So for the SSP is solely for root and leguminous crops. When I say roots, talk about it's good in producing soya beans. It's good in producing Irish potatoes and all the brands of potatoes you have.
Production of food crops ensures food sufficiency because it provides food for the people and also creates job opportunities. Agriculture is said to be the critical sector in any developed nation. Nigerian farmers have continuously depended on governments to ensure availability of fertilizer at affordable price.
Alhamdulillah, abinda zan ce taki ya fito wanda za a sayar rika sayarwa da talaka shi a game da sauki, amma me gaskiya akwai matsala a wurin 'yan kasuwa. Dan yanzu haka wani lokaci in mun je so shi zamu iya.
Government have actually supplied fertilizer for its farmers, but when you go to the market, it is not available because marketers buy it the whole bag and they will reback it and price will go above 5,500 that government approved.
Yau in an sa shi kaga shi aka sa a nan ma wurin wannan kabijin shi aka sa a masaran nan.
The fertilizer is good, especially the NPK one. It is the same NPK that I apply on the vegetable and maize, and you can see they are looking greenish and fresh. Once you apply this NPK twice to maize, you will have a good harvest. But urea, you may apply it over 3 times without a very good result.
Alhamdulillah, kuma shugaban ƙasa Allah ya bashi lafiya. Waɗanda suke kusa da shi,
I wish those working with the president will have a good intention for our country, just like a president.
Taki da shugaban kasa ya bada umarni ya zo ga talaka sai dai mu ce alhamdulillah mu gode ma Allah sannan.
The subsidized fertilizer is good, but I have not been able to buy because it is scarce, though some farmers are able to buy. Only major marketers buy and sell the product to large-scale farmers. The product is really scarce.
Agriculture creates employment and a value chain. Workers involved in this process attest to the fact that jobs have been created. Alhaji Saleh Idris is chairman of truck drivers at Superphosphate Fertilizer and Chemicals Limited.
Kama aiki gadan-gadan yanzu babu kama hannun yaro, kuma in ka kula za ka ga akwai wani sabon plan ma da suka bude wanda za a rinka yin limestone da wanda za sai dai a kawo nan ayi.
Work is really going on. As you can see, a new plant is in place for the production of urea rather than importing the urea. My sincere appreciation to the government under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari for the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative Program. Everybody appreciates the program, especially farmers, traders, transporters, drivers and laborers are delighted because jobs has been created.
'yan kasuwa na murna, direbobi na murna, yaran mota na murna saboda an samu ayyuka maimakon zaman banza.
Fertilizer issue, give glory to God, shall say, as the business starts, we enjoy the business and it's good for the government. Again, may they still put more things about this fertilizer issue. As it will start this fertilizer company, with this our company GPC, with the enjoy, we don't get problem with anybody, and we still need more. At least government will still provide more things again for people.
This company has facilities for production. I appreciate the fact that federal government has seen the importance of agriculture and fertilizer is being produced locally in Nigeria. You can see that the product is being transported to various states and work is going on continuously in the factory.
Aliyu Yaradua is the production manager, Superphosphate Fertilizer and Chemicals. He expressed his delight on the government policy of resuscitating fertilizer production in Nigeria.
Compared to previous governments, production is much better. During the previous government, the management of fertilizer company are responsible for acquiring for the raw materials for production, such as urea, muriate, or potash, and other components needed for producing fertilizer. But with the present government of Muhammadu Buhari, raw materials are supplied by the government, and our company produces the fertilizers for the government, and we are paid for the services.
Muna ɗaya daga cikin waɗanda gwamnati ya da su ta amince da su sai mata wannan aikin.
I have been working in this factory. I am able to bring other people for us to work together People from different parts of this country are working here. I really appreciate the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative program. In fact, production has increased and as well as my monthly wages. Presently, I am able to set up a business for my wife as a result of this increase in production. During the past 4 years, production has been very low with less than 100 trucks production per annum. But as at now, we have produced over 600 trucks in the last 3 months. Our salaries are being paid promptly. Raw materials is being supplied to us steadily unlike previous years.
Muna samun aiki. Wannan shine urea wanda muke saukewa.
2 years ago, we had problems of production, but with the government of Muhammadu Buhari, work is going on in the factory, and we are working daily. As you can see, we are presently unloading urea, which will be used for production. I call on the government to explore other means of creating employment to the youth in our country. So many Nigerians are farmers, and definitely we need fertilizer for farming. I urge the government to make effort in creating employment to reduce social vices among youth.
Food vendors around the fertilizer factory also confessed the resumption of production at the factory gave them an opportunity for food selling.
This year, I am really happy because President Buhari has made fertilizer companies to be working. May God continue to protect our president. I also thank the management of Federal Superphosphate Fertilizer Company for allowing me to sell food at their premises.
Lokacin da ina nan da ba komi wata rama sai in yi haftiye ba komi haka nan zan tafi da shi gida.
I thank the present government for resuming fertilizer production. Initially, I cook little food, but I find it difficult to sell. But now, I have increased the quantity of food I sell because of the production going on. I appreciate the kind gesture of the management of this company for allowing me to sell food at the factory.
The wisdom din da za su dari din mu Allah ya ba su.
Since for the past 5 years now, we don't have where to stay. We stay outside. The rain, the sun, everything will be beating us. But presently now, the MD of this company have already given off shop down there now. So that no rain, no sun. So that we will be comfortable there. I want to thank God for them. God used them to help us and to provide our needs. So we want to thank God for that. God will continue to bless them, bless the MD of this company.
The Nigerian government, under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, have recognized that agriculture is a viable sector that stimulates Nigerian economy and creates wealth. The Presidential Fertilizer Initiative program is all about research and findings involving experts and technocrats within and outside Nigeria in order to reactivate and revive the Nigerian agricultural sector. The marketing officer of Superphosphate Fertilizer and Chemicals encouraged farmers to get their fertilizer from reliable dealers at the cost of 5,500 naira. That is the approved government price.
We have our distributors spread across the face of Nigeria, but when you have these distributors to equally have retailers and small medium-term sellers that comes to them to buy. And the fertilizer, when you go to the cow market around Kaduna, the Saminaka market, Pamegwa market, the Zaria market, you find the fertilizer to buy. Even down to the Marambarido market within the Kaduna metropolis, you find these fertilizers to buy. It is called the TAC Agro NPK 2010 brand of fertilizer. They should take advantage of this program that is going on currently at the moment. This fertilizer program has come to stay. It is something that is not just a 1 year affair. It is something that will run for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So my advice is they should take advantage of it because it is a direct accessibility to the procurement of fertilizer. So since the government has brought down this price of fertilizer from the way it was before to 5,500 naira, my appeal and advice is to all farmers that are interested to quickly rush and grab their bag of fertilizer of NPK 2010.
The use of fertilizer to enhance high yield in agriculture and to ensure food security cannot be overemphasized. The Presidential Fertilizer Initiative, as outlined by the Presidency, is actually stimulating local production of assorted fertilizer products and resuscitating of moribund fertilizer plants, as well as reviving local fertilizer blending industry, and therefore making fertilizer available to Nigerian farmers.